But we had a lot of stuff today, Kim. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Diddy's former assistant was forced up there.
It happened inside a packed courtroom. Diddy snapped on in a moment no one saw coming. The music mogul, dressed in a sharp navy suit and surrounded by a wall of attorneys, stood up and screamed at the judge. Lies. This is all lies. The courtroom froze. Gasps echoed. Security moved in. Reporters scrambled for their phones and the judge. He slammed the gavel twice, demanding silence. Why did Diddy erupt? Because just seconds before, his former personal assistant, someone who had remained silent for years, dropped a statement so insane, so bizarre, so chilling it instantly became the most talked about bombshell of the entire trial, according to the assistant's testimony. Diddy didn't just carry pills. He carried custom designer pills, pressed with the face of President Barack Obama. Yes, you heard that right. Obama's face. On pills, in Diddy's personal bag. And that was just the beginning, because once the assistants started talking, the entire courtroom, man, the world watching, learned that the man we thought we knew might be hiding something far more dangerous. What was inside those pills? And why was Diddy so desperate to keep them hidden? Stay locked in. This story spirals into something so deep, so dark, so explosive, you won't believe where it leads next. To understand how Diddy's courtroom explosion became the talk of the nation and why the mention of Obama-faced pills sent the gallery into chaos, you have to go back, way back, because this wasn't just about some mystery pills. This was about a decades-long empire built on secrets, fear, and control, and at the center of it all was one man, Sean Diddy Combs, the icon, and the SHIDOW for most of the SD/OW4. Most of the world. Diddy is a legend, a kingmaker, a mogul, the architect of Bad Boy Records, the man who shaped artists like Biggie Smalls, Maze, Faith Evans, 112, and so many more. A multi-millionaire entrepreneur, a symbol of hustle, of power, of Harlem turned into gold. But behind the scenes, whispers followed him. For years, insiders talked about NDAs, about silence payments, about assistants who left suddenly and never spoke again. Those whispers got louder in 2023 when lawsuits began to mount, allegations of abuse, intimidation, and manipulation. A wave of stories started flooding out from behind the velvet rope of Diddy's empire. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared anyone for the day that one of his closest ex-assistants decided to testify. Who is the ex-assistant? His name is being withheld in court documents, but sources close to the trial referred to him as Marcus D. Marcus wasn't just a driver or a bodyguard. He was Diddy's right hand, responsible for managing personal appointments, handling private luggage, and even flying with Diddy on his most classified business trips. For years, Marcus said nothing. But now, he's talking. And according to courtroom insiders, his testimony didn't just rattle Diddy, it exposed a pattern of disturbing behavior that could unravel an entire network of secrets. The suitcase inside DNI. Marcus told the court that on a private flight in 2021, he was asked to carry a black Louis Vuitton duffel bag from the tarmac to Diddy's Miami mansion. This wasn't unusual. Marcus had carried hundreds of bags before, but this time, something felt different. The bag was heavier than usual, despite its small size. And when he accidentally dropped it just outside the house, it popped open. What? Spilled out? Orange, pink, and purple pills, all stamped with the face of Barack Obama. Dozens of them, maybe hundreds. Marcus says Diddy rushed to him, snatched the bag, and hissed, "You didn't see that? Ever." The room went silent when Marcus shared that line. And then he added, "That was the moment I realized I didn't work for a man. I worked for an Operation Obama-faced pills." Social media erupted. Was it a joke? Some sort of fan-made novelty? Prop? Apparently not. According to Marcus, those pills weren't for display. He alleges they were used consumed by Diddy and select people in his inner circle during secret parties at undisclosed luxury homes in Miami, New York, and the Caribbean. It was part of the culture, Marcus testified. You didn't ask questions. You just obeyed. And the strangest part? Marcus claimed that every bag of pills came with a code name, presidential packages. Why Obama? No one knows for sure. But sources speculate it was a symbol of power, something exclusive, elite, almost sacred. Marcus said Diddy once joked, "If you're gonna lose your mind, do it with the president's face in your system." Was it sarcasm, arrogance, or a window into something far darker? Whatever it was, Cortan the internet was not laughing. Legal Strategy CIOLAPCI's team tried to shut it down. They objected, motioned to strike the testimony, and claimed Marcus was fabricating details to go viral. But the judge allowed it to remain on the record. And that's when Diddy lost it. This is a F*** King Circus. That man's a liar. He was fired. He stood, shouted, pounded the defense table. It took 2 bailiffs and a warning from the judge to bring him back under control. One more outburst, Mr. Combs, and you will be removed from this courtroom. And just like that, the whole trial shifted because now the world wasn't asking about NDAs or past relationships. They were asking, what were those pills? Why Obama? What else has Marcus seen that he hasn't said yet? Because insiders say this was just the tip of the iceberg, and Marcus. He's only just started talking when Marcus D took the stand again the following day. The courtroom was 10 times fuller. Press lined the back wall. Legal bloggers had flown in overnight. Security was doubled, and Diddy. He sat stone-faced, flanked by 3 attorneys. His jaw clenched so tight it looked like it might shatter, because everyone knew. Marcus was just getting started. The secret ROM after the bombshell about the Obama-faced pills, Marcus claimed that those pills weren't random, they were part of a much larger, ritualistic routine that Diddy maintained for years behind closed doors. He spoke about a red room in Diddy's Miami mansion. It's only accessible through a fingerprint-locked hallway. Marcus wasn't allowed inside. Fake emails and a cover-up. Marcus pulled out what he claimed were printed emails sent between Diddy's assistants, allegedly including Marcus himself showing clear instructions to clear rooms, burn linens, and dispose of emptied pill trays. One of the alleged messages read, "Guest arriving, tray prepped. Obama only. Pineapple water only. White noise speaker on." Another, more disturbing read, "No phones, NDA box on entry. Lock hallway after arrival." The prosecution submitted these documents as evidence but warned the judge they were unable to verify the original senders without further metadata. Still, the implications were massive. The emails painted a picture of a deliberately constructed environment of control, secrecy, and systematic disposal of anything that could be traced. Insider number 2 steps, 4WRD, then came the first twist. Nobody expected. Just minutes before the court session ended, prosecutors announced that a second former employee and anonymous security specialist would also be taking the stand the following week. Their statement: this second insider will corroborate much of what Mr. D has claimed, particularly regarding the use and distribution of the pills and the guest behaviors within the residence. The internet lit up instantly. More people are flipping. This is turning into a full-blown takedown. The empire is collapsing. Meanwhile, Diddy's legal team issued their own written statement outside the courtroom. We maintain that these accusations are not only false, but part of a calculated smear campaign designed to destroy a legacy. Mr. Combs will continue to fight for the truth. But even some of his staunchest supporters began to waver. The media descends, late-night talk shows jumped in. Podcasts erupted. Twitter flooded with conspiracy theories. Was Obama aware? Did celebrities attend those Red Room parties? Who else took the flight? One tweet racked up 17 million views overnight. If Diddy's carrying Obama-faced pills, imagine what the ones with no faces hold. Comment sections flooded with messages like, "This feels deeper than celebrity drama. This is cult behavior disguised as luxury." We're watching a cultural collapse in real time. The final word from MRCUS before stepping off the stand, Marcus turned toward Diddy for the first time during his testimony and said, "You once told me I was part of the circle, but the moment I stopped obeying, I became disposable. Not disposable anymore." Diddy didn't respond, but the look in his eyes wasn't rage. It was panic, because if Marcus cracked the door open, cider number 2 might blow it off the hinges. As courtroom buzz intensified and Marcus D's testimony continued to dominate headlines, things took a dramatically darker turn. The narrative shifted from bizarre personal habits to a systematic operation of manipulation, surveillance, and psychological control. The moment insider number 2 stepped forward, everything changed. The security specialist exposes EVRY to I'm a sheriff. 2 only as witness X for safety reasons. This new witness was described as a former private security contractor employed by Diddy. Between 2019 and 2022, he wasn't a bodyguard. He wasn't a driver. Was part of what insiders allegedly called the Quiet Team, an internal unit whose sole job was to monitor, record, clean, and suppress. And his first line of testimony, "You didn't work for Sean Combs. You worked for the machine." The watch room witness X described a control room inside Diddy's Los Angeles compound. Soundproofed. Windowless office nicknamed the watch room. Inside, live feeds from every hallway, bedroom, and common area watch to X surveillance software that transcribed conversations, recordings cataloged and labeled by time, date, and subject name. Witness X claimed that these files weren't just for protection. They were used to keep tabs on guests, catch them in compromising situations, and control future loyalty. If someone ever turned on him, Sean always had a file, a clip, a voice note, something they didn't want public. According to Witness X, the Obama-faced pills were administered in private lounges with no cameras, but everything before and after was watched, recorded, stored. The blacklist room. Even more disturbing was the mention of a second digital archive, known internally as the blacklist folder. Witness X testified that this folder contained edited clips of celebrities under the influence, screenshots of DMs from fake accounts, voicemails, and emotional breakdowns from staff members. We were told, "Always keep something in the vault. Always." That was the insurance policy. The prosecution asked if there were names attached. Witness X hesitated, then answered, "Yes, multiple. Artists, producers, actors, politicians." The courtroom erupted in whispers. The judge demanded silence. Diddy, expressionless, scribbled something onto a legal pad, his knuckles white. Celebrity names. Drop-off commercial names were censored from the public record. Sources inside the courtroom later leaked that at least 3 Grammy-winning artists were allegedly referenced in relation to the vault files. One journalist claimed, "What we're seeing isn't just celebrity scandal, it's a full-blown network of silence built through power and pills." Witness X added, "If you wanted in, you had to surrender. If you wanted out, you had to disappear." The deals and the LAKS after the Obama-faced pills story went viral. More leaks began flooding social media. A TikTok video appeared showing what looked like a blurred tray setup similar to the one Marcus described, alongside background music and a flashing red light. The caption, "This wasn't no party. This was a performance." Another Instagram account shared what they claimed was a redacted guest list from one of Diddy's flight nights, private events held in the Bahamas. Among the initials listed were BCM, HLR. Fans began guessing names: Beyonce, Carter. No way, Michael. Maybe a handler. LR Lauren. Who? Speculation reached dangerous levels. What mattered most was the public no longer doubted the existence of presidential packages. Obama responds. Perhaps the biggest shock of all, the Obama Foundation quietly issued a press release. President Obama has no knowledge of nor any connection to the inappropriate use of his likeness in relation to these alleged products. Any unauthorized use of his image is subject to legal review. It was short, cold, and chillingly specific. People began wondering if it was just a joke. Why respond at all? One political analyst tweeted, "This just went from celebrity drama to a federal-level conversation. Diddy might be in very serious legal danger. Former associate goes Aroj Kunjust when it seemed like things couldn't spiral any further." A new voice surfaced, someone from Diddy's past who had long disappeared from the limelight. Kifa Abdul, a former artist development consultant at Bad Boy. In a surprise YouTube live, Kifa said, "I left because I saw too much. The pills were just the start." The real issue was the obsession with control. Everybody was scared of Puff not because he yelled, but because he could erase you. He added, he'd say things like, "You leave me, I leave you off history," and he meant that. Kifa's video pulled 4 million views in 9 hours. The top comment: "The fall of Diddy is turning into the fall of a generation. Diddy's lawyers PA9C following this avalanche." Diddy's legal team filed a motion to limit evidence scope, claiming the proceedings were turning into a media circus with no bearing on the actual charges. But the judge denied the motion, stating if there is a pattern of coercion and suppression of witnesses, it is relevant to the court. In short, every secret Diddy tried to bury was now fair game. The new court award. The end of the hearing. The judge issued a shocking order. Diddy must turn over all private recordings, NDAs, and communications involving Marcus D., witness, X, and all known private staff from 2018 to 2023. His team tried to object. They were overruled, the judge warned. Non-compliance will result in contempt of court. And as court adjourned, Diddy didn't storm out. He didn't shout. He didn't blink. He just sat there, staring at the desk. Because now, the mask was off. The walls were closing in. Every secret he ever kept is about to be dragged into the light. As courtroom details spilled across news feeds faster than anyone could track, the public reaction went from shock to obsession. This wasn't just a celebrity scandal anymore. This was cultural collapse in real time. And the internet was strapped in for every twist. Twitter on fire. Hashtag Diddy trial surged to the #1 trending spot globally. But what took it over the edge? Hashtag ObamaPills.1. Tweet just a picture of a bottle of Tic Tacs labeled Hope and Change with the Obama face photoshopped on, hit 17.6 million views in 12 hours. This Diddy case sounds like a Netflix fever dream. The man built an empire on fear and vitamin supplements with political branding. Someone called Jordan Peele. This is his next movie. And while jokes went viral, the undercurrent of fear was very real. If this is what he did to assistants, imagine what he did to enemies. This isn't messy, it's terrifying. Instagram goes dark. Several major hip-hop pages, including at Rap Caviar, at The Neighborhood Talk, and at Gossip of the Industry, either disabled comments or turned private, citing threats and involuntary participation in an ongoing legal investigation. Insider reports suggested that Diddy's legal team was privately reaching out to accounts, threatening legal action for misuse of private materials and contributing to defamation through digital rumors. But the attempts backfired. Screenshots of the threats leaked. Why is Diddy trying to silence meme pages? If it's all lies, why do you care what's posted? That's when the meme wars began. Photoshopped images of Diddy in an orange jumpsuit with Obama, holding a glowing pill like the Matrix's red pill, swept the internet. Celebrities begin to distance themselves. Drake unfollowed Diddy on Instagram. Jay-Z's ROC Nation quietly deleted archived blog posts referencing their past collaborations. French Montana, a longtime affiliate, turned off comments on all posts. DJ Khaled reposted a vague Bible verse about truth being exposed in the light. And then Cardi B, known for never holding her tongue, posted, "Some of y'all gone learn that money ain't a shield forever." She didn't name names. But the fans knew. Industry executives break Arancastu, former music executives, anonymously interviewed by a major podcast, shared chilling takes. Everyone's known. For years, there were layers to Diddy. The public got the party. We got the pressure. Another said there were whispers about the rooms, the pills, the obedience culture. But no one ever had the balls or receipts to talk. They claimed Diddy had decades of leverage on artists, producers, stylists, and even journalists. That's why no one wrote about it. He didn't pay people off. He buried them in their own secrets. Media REACTS, the New York Times, ran a headline, "From Mogul to Mayhem. Diddy faces cultural reckoning," CNN's Don Lemon reported. This trial is less about one man and more about the unchecked power celebrity provides. It's a mirror held to the entire industry. The Shade Room, after staying neutral for days, finally posted a statement. "We can't ignore it anymore. Our job is to uplift culture, but also to hold it accountable." The fan base SPL, ITSM, hardcore fans held the line. "Puff's a genius. They always tear down black excellence. Y'all just mad he built an empire and didn't invite you in." But most began pulling back. He's not being framed. He's being exposed. Where there's this much smoke, the house already burned down. This isn't a takedown, it's a testimony. A viral TikTok creator posted a side-by-side comparison of Diddy's 2004 VMA speech and the courtroom footage of him screaming. In 20 years, he went from vote or die to Obama pills in the Red Room. How did we not see this coming? Victims speaking up. Allegedly, multiple anonymous victims, former dancers, stylists, and interns have already contacted legal teams with statements of interest. Their messages are similar. "I was told to stay quiet. I thought I was the only one. I'm scared, but I'm ready. If even one of them testifies, this trial could stretch into years." Public outcry mounts. A new petition launched. Remove Diddy from all Grammy boards, brand partnerships, and Hall of Fame nominations until investigations are complete. Within 48 hours, it hit 1.2 million signatures. Rihanna's Fenty brand removed all products associated with a prior Diddy co-launch. Apple Music reportedly took down 3 old podcast interviews featuring him. The world WITS every major network is covering the trial live. Reddit threads are updated by the minute. And YouTube is filled with reaction after reaction. But now, eyes are on the next court date. Because if Diddy's empire is crumbling, what gets revealed next could bury him permanently. And after that, people are already asking, who's next? Just when the world thought it had seen the worst, the final twist came quietly. No viral outburst, no social media leak. Just a single piece of paper handed to the judge in a sealed envelope. And when the judge opened it, the entire courtroom fell into a stunned, breathless silence, because inside was a sworn affidavit from a third witness, an anonymous high-level former executive at a media company with direct ties to Diddy's inner circle. The claim, personally witnessed Mr. Combs directing the manufacturing and distribution of a batch of capsules, shaped and pressed with Barack Obama's likeness, at a private facility in the Dominican Republic. And it didn't stop there.